All right, so this is the update from Firehouse to ESO Fire. There have been quite a few changes within the EHR recently, and there's been questions about it, so we'll go through that real quick. If we go into EHR, we'll notice that there's now an End First tab under the Incidents section. So if we go here to this call, we'll notice that under the Incident tab, on the bottom left-hand side, your scroll window, you'll notice that End First is there. And so if you click on your End First, you have all the same options as you did before. So this was an EMS call excluding vehicle accident with injury. And you have to fill out all these to lock your record now. Injury or death, none. Property use, the same number as the 419, which is 1 to 2 family dwelling. If you just type in 4-1 or 4, it'll pull up all your 4s or 3s, anything like that. Senior assisted living center, we do that a lot. Adult family homes, we do that a lot as well. So you can pick which one it is. It's really the same data that we used to put into Firehouse before. We had no mutual aid on this call. As you see here on your primary action, you did your normal 32 code, which is provide basic life support. And if we put more 3, just type in 3, we'll have all of our options here, like we did before. ALS transports 340, ambulance transports 341 versus 34A or 34B, like it was in Firehouse. So if we wanted to say we transported that person, we just go ahead and click that in. You don't have to fill out this third one unless you actually have an ALS person evaluate the patient, then that's okay. This is just for, you can click that and counts include aid received or not. So if you did receive mutual aid, it'll automatically put that in. This is for any fires or anything like that that you go on. You do your suppression rig count, and we had 0 on that call, so you type in 0. Suppression personnel count, we had 0. That's okay. And we just go through and we hit up all 6 of these, which we had 1 unit on scene, and we had 2 people on the rig. So, and we had 0 other apparatus. So if like AMR comes or the medic unit comes, anything like that, you can add those in as well. Okay, so this is a new section that has to be filled out to be able to lock your calls. If you don't do that, then if you don't lock your calls and get all your information in, you're not going to be able to merge the data into ESO Fire. So locking your records is very important on this. So we're going to go back to our home screen, and you're going to find that you're going to see a new tab underneath your EHR, and it's just going to be a red fire. See if it does it for me. As you see here, we have the new fire button. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to let it load up. And then you'll see right when you get in on the main screen that there's a big list of calls. So if you lock your EHR, it just shows up there for you to be able to put it in and merge the data. Sorry, my computer's running a little slow right now. And right now it's working on downloading all these calls right here. So we can go through, we know what our call is. If it's, since I just worked, let's see if we have one that I can do. We have this one right here off of 106th Ave Northeast. So we're going to go ahead and click on 3203. It's a locked call, so that's why we're able to click on it and go into it. There's 2 tabs. There's your basic tab, basic 1 tab, and basic 2 tab. You see this little yellow triangle? That means that there's still data missing. So all you have to do is go in and fill out all these sections that have these little red lines on it. So I'm going to go ahead and click what station I'm at, what district I'm in, City of Bothell. And since we already did all my action takens in my EHR, it all shows up here for you. So you don't have to duplicate that effort. Let's go ahead and continue to scroll down. Anything that's red is already put in for us, right? So we don't have to worry about any of that. So our first tab, we already finished it by filling out 2 boxes. Then we go into our basic 2 tab. So on this apparatus, you can just click your apparatus. It has all your times from earlier entries. It knows your 842. It knows what type of use you are. And then all you really have to do is put in your personnel. So it's me and Jonathan. So we'll go ahead and do it down to Roberts. We'll update it, and boom, we're done. Since we already did our resource counts in our EHR, that's all we had to do. And for me, the report writer, I was the lead on the call, so I'm going to write lead. And that's the only tab in that section to fill out. Officer in charge, we're going to go ahead and put me. And then here in our narrative, we have to do a quick narrative on this as well. So we did aid. Then you can hit save. And it automatically timestamps it for you once you do it. And then as you see here, it says 0 validation issues, and you have a check mark there. So then you go to your lock and lock it, and you're done with your NFIRS report. All right, so we went over the EPCR import, which is just all these right here. So now we're going to go ahead and do a CAD import. So this is for calls that aren't already put in the system from EHR. And so we're going to go ahead and do an engine call. So if this is an MVA or a fire, there's going to be different tabs to fill out within the fire. It's the same concept. You still have to fill out all the little red tabs on the incidents and everything like that. So you pick your incident type. If it's a fire, you click fire, and you can put structure fire, other, any of those. All these are the same types of things. So we're just going to do this as a mock one. We'll do a beauty bark fire. We're downtown. We'll say we're on A shift, and we're going to be in the city of Bothell. Did anybody die on this? I don't think so. And then we kind of put down what we did. Fire control extinguished or other, anything like that. Any of the red tabs still need to be filled out. This will give you your location type, if it's a street address, adjacent, anything like that. So if we put at the street address, and that's where it was. Property use, we'll still do this if it's an assembly. It just depends on where you are outside other specialty properties, bridge, dump, sanitary site, anything like that. So as you see, we're going through, we're just waiting to be saw 6 validations between 3 tabs now. Since we chose that it was a fire, the fire tab became available. So all you have to do is go through and fill all your red tabs on this as well. And then this is your estimated loss of property. If it was $10, it was $10. If it was estimated content loss, $10, or you click on your unknowns and you validate that tab. On this tab, you're still going to go through, and you're going to go through your personnel, and you're going to do your narrative as well. So you have 1 suppression rig with 3 personnel. So you just click on that rig, and you put who was on that rig that day. So the fire tab's a little bit different. When you click on the fire tab, there's not a lot to fill out. There's areas of origin, heat source, item first ignited, cause of ignition, factors contributing to ignition, and then human factors of possibilities. Equipment, you can also add your equipment in if you'd like to. You don't have to. Again, it's just all the red tab stuff that needs to be filled out. And that is the fire version of it.
Hello. When you are conducting a report, when you're making a new report, it's important that you look at where the call is in the city or in the district. Snohomish County District 10 is important to us, and our map pages show the difference between where the city is and where the district is, the line. So when you respond in Snohomish County District 10, it's important that you choose Snohomish County District 10 in your report. The reason for this is because CAD does not recognize Snohomish County District 10 and automatically load it. It cannot. It's a NORCOM issue, a run card issue, and so we need to physically choose it. So a common one is North Creek Retirement Home up in Snohomish County that is consistently missed. We go there many, many times in a year, And probably half of the time, people leave it at the default that comes in from CAD is the city of Bothell. And we need to physically change it to Snohomish County District 10. So be aware of that when you're traveling into the Snohomish County District 10 area. Change the report. Okay, now we're going to talk about incident type. There are 9 areas of incident type, and each one of those areas has multiple choices for you, depending on the type of incident that you respond to. Now, you might be responding to a fire, and it comes in as a house fire or a structure fire, and it turns out to be a bark fire. You need to choose the best choice in the list for the incident type. It's not what you're dispatched to, it's what you actually are on scene of. So one of the things that happens is people choose other, which is the last choice of the list typically. So if we go down to, if we pick any one of these, fire, and with the last choice on that list, or fire other 100, or in this case it looks like the first choice, they rearranged it, then it might not be the best choice. So what we would like you to do is take a look at the list and choose the best one and not just default to other. Okay, now we're going to talk about mutual aid. So we have 4 choices: automatic aid given, automatic aid received, mutual aid given, mutual aid received. Automatic aid is, for, as a matter of fact, something that, let's say there's a structure fire in Woodinville, and we are automatically sent to that fire. We're dispatched on the dispatch. Mutual aid given would be Woodinville's out there on a fire, and they decide they need the awesome engine 42, and they say, give me engine 42. They don't say, give me the next up engine, they specifically request. That's mutual aid given. This, when we do this, it specifically is talking about another agency, not Bothell. So if you look at the next field where it says aided agency, you see Bothell in that list. We are not talking about Bothell. We're talking about the agency who we either received aid from or we gave aid to. It is not about Bothell. The whole rest of the report is about Bothell, but this section is about who we received or gave aid to.